I'd like to thank Mike Hill and UNC Charlotte and their cooperation in allowing us an opportunity and a venue should we qualify to host up in Charlotte with their Coach Staley's team. So Kim Whitestone and the staff up there have been phenomenal in making this work for us. So we're delighted to be in this position and hopeful that we play well down the stretch.
Ray, when you guys were in the selection process, were there any other venues in the state outside of Greenville or North Charleston that might have fit the criteria, like Florence or Sumter or Rock Hill, anywhere?
I'll say that we looked at an extensive list of venues. Some seating-wise we didn't think had the capacity. Some were not available, but it was a long list that we went through, and Charlotte was on the list from the very beginning, and it worked out timing-wise that their building was going to be available, and we're delighted that we're at a point now, if we qualify, that we get to play there.
How key is it that you guys were able to secure a location that's really not too far from Columbia to keep the fans happy if you guys are able to host in the first two rounds?
Well, it's extremely important. If we were, averaging 500 fans a game, it's not such a priority, but it is a priority for us in our women's basketball program, and we think that we can travel well to Charlotte. It's not that far. It's a great city, a lot of things to do there, and I think it's a great opportunity for women's basketball from an NCAA standpoint to host a tournament in a city like Charlotte.
Ray, was there ever any concern on your part that something might not work out and they'd have to play at another school?
How well do you know me? Yeah, there was concern. It's not an automatic. We put in a waiver request. You probably read the guidelines that you have to go through to get a waiver, and there's no guarantees. I didn't know of a precedent that had been set. I didn't know of a situation where a women's team had gone to another venue. It might have happened. I just didn't have that in front of me. So we were talking to the committee, and we made the formal request, and we weren't 100% sure that it would be granted, but it was. They took a look. I think the fact that Coach Staley and her program, what they've done consistently for a long time now, and the attendance leading the country, from that standpoint, what we've done in NCAA play, I think that all factored in. They didn't tell me that, but I would assume that this is good for women's basketball.
Ray, looking at the dates on this thing, I believe the women's tournament as a whole starts that Friday, same day the men's regional here. Have y'all been given any indication what dates you'll play? If it's that Friday or Saturday?
No, and I think that is to be determined. Megan Kennington will be spearheading, the tournament from our standpoint, and that'll be determined at another time. Again, we have to win games. We got to, the season's not over, so we got to keep playing.
Also, with that possibility, should they not make it, did y'all have to give them a deposit? Is there a monetary thing already tied up in this?
Well, I can't answer that question in complete accuracy, but there'll be some expenses that we will incur on our part in order to go play at their campus. It's not a rent-free facility. We'll have some expenses that we will incur, but it's important to us to do that.
I was just talking about right now. Did you have to promise them something or give them a check?
No, we didn't do that.
Coach, I know Dawn's been great through this process. She's mentioned, though, in the past that this is an inconvenience for her team, but what have you made of the relationship with her? What was she looking for in finding a venue, and how has she helped you in this time?
Well, I think Coach Staley well enough that her number one priority is our fan base. And, you want to play at home as a coach. You always do. But the priority to be able to take care of our fans is important to her. They've been really good to our student athletes over the years now, and we wanted to find a place that they could travel and we could have a pretty good crowd. And I think that'll be the case. Again, should we qualify, that'll be the case up in Charlotte.
Ray, what will be the ticket allotment for each school?
I'm going to estimate. Probably somebody in the room knows better than I do, but I want to say it's $150. Pretty good on my part.
So, and really,
150.
This would be thrown out for general.
Correct.
Coach, you mentioned just a moment ago how the program, what they've done over the years, might have played a factor in. How much do you really believe that was the case because of USC leading the nation in attendance and what they've done to create this culture and popularity of women's basketball here played into getting this waiver granted?
I don't sit on the committee. This is a decision that was made by the women's basketball committee at the NCAA level. But the fact that our brand is so strong in this space in women's basketball that it played a role. We're good for the sport. Coach Staley's great for the sport. She's an iconic figure. She's an iconic coach. She's going to be our Olympic coach, and the success that we've had at the NCAA level, I think it all plays into looking at the situation and saying, you know what, this is an opportunity for us to grant a waiver request, and we're happy to get that news.
And how eager was Charlotte as in terms of finding a new host site? Like, were they eager to really partner up with you guys to have this possibility to host a tournament?
Well, Mike Hill, his athletic director up at UNC Charlotte, and he was down at the University of Florida before, so we knew each other, and I put a call into him, and I said, is your building available? If this possibility works out for us, could we put in a request? And they were very cooperative and anxious to accommodate us in any way that they could. And then you got to remember, we're hosting here, and we're hosting there. Should it all work out perfectly? So our staffs are going to be stretched. Are going to be stretched thin. But Mike and his staff will be ready to jump in should we need them as well. So he's been Kim Whitestone up at his place, and Mike. They've been terrific to work with, and we're excited that we're in a position that the NCAA has granted the waiver.
Ray, in the past with this program, they've taken sponsored bus trips to Auburn or Tennessee or wherever. Would that be a possibility for this?
I would say that might be a possibility. I don't know the exact mileage to Halton Arena, but I'm guessing it's probably around 100.
We will have ticket information available tomorrow, and it will include bus trip information.
There you go.
117.
There you go. I'll round that down to 90.
Were there any other out-of-state options you guys considered this?
There might have been a couple of places that we took a look at but didn't go real deep into the process. We wanted to be a host. If we merit that position, we wanted to be a host as close to Columbia as possible, and I think that we've ended up in a very good spot.
Anything else for Coach Shannon?
You mentioned some of this, but just how much does Charlotte cross off? I'm sure it was high on the list to begin with, but how much of what you were looking for in a event site does this place provide you with?
Almost everything. I mean, it's not hard to get to. It's a really nice arena. You will enjoy it if you haven't been there. It's a nice arena for basketball. Great city, plenty of hotels, a lot of things to do. It's a destination city, and we spell Charlotte with a block C, so that's it all works out for us. A couple of people ask me, do you have a problem that you cross the state line? I go, did we cross the state line? Charlotte's part of our state, isn't it?
Ray, a little off topic, but with baseball and softball starting up tomorrow, what do you think of just those two sports and the prospects for those two teams this season?
Well, I know Coach Smith is excited about her team. She played in a tournament last weekend in Mexico, really tough tournament, but she's poised, I believe, to have a really good year, another really good year. And talking to Coach Kingston the last couple of weeks, he's got a young squad, but I looked at a couple of the prognosticators. They have us making the field, so that's good news. I know it's a tough process, but we're excited about our spring sports. Our tennis teams are off to a great start, and golf's getting ready to fire it up. Beach volleyball. We've been successful in the spring and look forward to another great spring.
Thank you, Coach.